Hey guys, it is anycounters here. Sorry, I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been trying to look for a car, so that's been my main super priority. But I have made a few more. I made a few decks. I made a Garlic Junior. I'm still working on that because the deck is pretty bad. There's no dodging that. It does have some good starting matchups. I was gonna make Brawly BR, but seeing how much the one drop promo Brawly is, around 70 to 80 or even 100, and then how expensive the 6 drop is and how expensive the extra card is, I just gave up on that because I was like, that's too much money. I was probably like close to $600. So I make Gogeta, which is literally like a fraction of the price, like not even a fraction, like way less than that entire deck cost, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. And when I was playtesting Brawly, the red Brawly BR on Untap, it was good, but for some reason I just couldn't close off the games. But was the Gogeta deck, you draw so many cards, and then you always have like a way to usually defend yourself because the leader searches for 1 drop extra cards, and you just have a lot of ways to like get rid of the opponent's card. The card has spot removal, which is super nice. It draws cards, like I said before, and it just swings really hard. All right, so let's get started with the leader. So leader is Gogeta BR. So when this card attacks, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, which is nice. Is add up to 1, so you don't have to add life if you don't want to. Look at up to 7 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 extra card with energy cost of 1 and add them to your hand and shuffle your deck. Once per turn, when you activate a Union seal, you can draw a card. Then awaken when your life is a 4 or less. You can untap 2 energy and switch them over. So this side has double strike. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, and then this card gets 5k power. So he's a 20k double striker each time he attacks. And so this is really good for getting rid of Unisons, because you get rid of that. You got to get rid of 2 markers, so that's super nice and super easy to do. So a lot of pressure there. And then that same skill as this side. When you activate a unit skill, you can draw a card. So that's later. So we're just gonna get with the super combos first right away. We got 4 Radit Singing Youth. These are the new super combo. This super combo works super well with this deck. Well, this is probably the best red super combo now in the game, aside from Paris Steel being the best super combo in the game. So the leader card is red, and all your energy is red. When your life is a 4 or less, you combo this card, bottom deck a card from your hand, and then you draw 2 cards, and it gets plus 10k power. So super nice. All right. On to the Unisons. We only run 4. We were running 4 Gotenks Earth Shattering Might. This card is super good. It works. This energy is super perfect for this deck. Auto once per turn, when you activate a unit skill, you can add a marker to this card. So that just one way how he ramps up markers, aside from the Gogeta doing it himself. Plus 0, draw a card. The -5 is this card gets plus 15k power and double strike and dual attack. So the -5 does seem pretty hard to do, but trust me, it's super easy. By turn 3, as long as he's on the board and the opponent and the bot are attacking him or something, he'll have at least 7 markers on him, or even more by the time you get to turn 3. Next, we're going to go into the only non-Sane card in the deck, aside from, not even the Unison is Sane, and aside from the extra cards. I believe it's not only non-Sane. It is 3 freezes Depth Embrace. This card is super good. It's nice spot removal, not like spot removal, but you can reduce power and make them leave the board. So when you play this card, draw a card, then active battle, pay 1 red, choose up to one of your opponent's later cards or battle cards, and it gets minus 10k for the turn. And that isn't once per turn, so let's say you're swinging for game and your opponent says no to gate, you can literally pay 5 energy, minus 50,000 to your opponent, and basically like cheese him out that way. But it's also really nice when you don't really have anything in your hand, you don't really want to waste anything. As long as he stays on the board, you can minus 10 to something and be like, okay, it doesn't hit. So super nice card, and it's just probably the best 1-drop red card in the game. Alright, on to the Gogetas. Well, Veku's, but he's basically Gogeta. Oh my god, I'm missing 1 Veku. Oh, they're over here. Okay, perfect. Oof. Okay. So we have 3 Veku the Fragile. So every Union Fusion in this deck is free except for the 5-drop Gogeta. So Union Fusion, Red Son Goku BR and Red Vegeta BR, and for anybody who's new for Union Fusion, it's just like a show. Your power level needs to be the same, so their attack power needs to be the same. So every Vegeta and Goku BR in the deck has 10k power. So when you play this card, you can't play him for the turn. So he has sort of like a awkward, unique effect where it's a little worse than unique. You can't just spam him on the field. You play one, and that's it. You go on for the turn. And then he has active main is you can send him to your drop, add a Goku BR and a Vegeta BR from your drop, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus indicate power. So he's another free way to what's the word? Get rid of stuff. And so why that makes it really good too is that you're not really negging a card because he's your leader. So whenever you use Union Fusion, once per turn you'll draw a card. So let's say you charge energy, you're at 5 cards, you use this, you get rid of 2 cards, you technically have 3, but then you're going to draw a card off of this, you're all 4, and then you're going to add the other 2 cards back to your hand, and you have 5 or 6 cards. So you're still keeping your hefty hand size because he's basically repaying that this card leaving your hand at the end of your turn, at the time that you use his effect. So super good. Next, we're going on to the slightly better version to get rid of annoying nuisances. We have Veku content under pressure. Same exact thing. Has Union Fusion. Permanent but he has a permanent. This card can attack active cards, so he's really nice. Like if you ever play against U7 Invoker, and he gets called Invoker, I forgot, or Invoker Zugio. You can swing at the 3-drop Vegeta and just try to pressure it out, so that way you can get rid of it, even though the card is in active mode. And then he also has the same exact skill where you can only play 1 copy per turn, and then send him to your drop out of Goku and a Vegeta BR from your drop to your hand. I know he doesn't specify which Goku or Vegeta BR, it's just any 2, as long as it's 2 of them. And as long as they're red, because there is a red and green one for some reason. Alright, next we're going to go on to the Gogetas. So this card's just really good. Gogeta Fusion of the Gods. So from playtesting I playtested at least 15-20 games of this deck already, and it's really consistent. Obviously every other game will have like a brick hand because you need to draw the Manillas or something, or a Goku and a Vegeta. And it happened to me today where I was drawing the Goku but I wasn't drawing the Vegeta. You usually want to try to awaken turn 3. So you do him turn 3, you awaken, you have 2 energy, you're safe for next turn, because you'll be able to negate 2 attacks or the fan, whatever you have in your hand. So as Union Fusion has Deflect, which is super nice, which means he's going to hit the board. Pay 3 red, draw 2 cards. A red Son Goku BR and a red Vegeta BR. Permanent, this card can be KO'd. If your leader card is red, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your red Unison cards. You add a marker to it. Again, like I said, helping Gotenks. And the reason why it's still really good too is that basically when he comes out and you have Gotenks out, he's getting 2 markers basically. So let's say it's your turn 2, they didn't attack him. Union Fusion, he has 3 markers. He used this. He gives him another marker. He already has 4 markers, which is really insane and really good. And let's say you have another copy in your hand, and just put it under him, give him another marker. And when you play this card, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, and they get minus 15k power for the turn. So super nice to get rid of like all like the little weenies and stuff. So like if you play this card against Garlic Jr., it literally wipes out their board because everything they have is 15k aside from the surfing cards. So super nice, super good. Next we play the new Gogeta. We have 4. Super Simple Gogeta Technique Unchained. Has Double Strike EX Evolve over Gogeta BR with a cost of 5, which is that one we just showed you. So this card has the same permanent, it can't be KO'd. And when a card when you evolve into him, you choose up to 1 of your red Unisons and you add 2 markers to it. So like I said, helping him out, and it's going to be really hard for him to leave the field. But he also has an additional condition. After you add the 2 markers, you cannot play battle cards for the turn. So basically, he's going to be the last battle card that you'll be able to play during your turn. So play other battle cards first, and then play him. Because after that, you cannot play battle cards for the rest of your turn. Then he has a really nice auto effect. When this card attacks, or one of your opponent's cards attacks, you may choose 1 of your opponent's cards, and it gets minus 20k power for the battle. And if you do, negate the skill for the turn. So I'm pretty sure when it says for the turn, because none of them have unique, unlike the Brawly 6-drop, which I really dislike that it has unique. But then again, it does hit 3 cards in hand. So when it says that, I believe it's negate the skill per copy of the card on the field. So it's not like, oh, if you have 3 copies of these on the field or 2 copies on the field, you can't use both. You only can use one. I'm pretty sure it's they get the skill per copy, I'm assuming. I could be wrong on that. Correct me in the comments below if I am wrong. So he's super good. So he says hit minus 20k to a card, which means he can hit the leader card, he can hit a battle card, and he can hit a Unison card. So remember, Unisons don't die. They hit zero power. When they hit 0 power, they lose a marker, but then they revert back to their original power that the card has. So super nice. And then I do play one spicy tech. I mainly play it because my girl got it for me as a gift, but it has won me a few games and is a bit cheesy. It is the old school Super Saiyan Gogeta Fusion Onslaught. So you EX Evolve over a red Gogeta BR with energy cost of 6. So energy cost of 6. Has a skill double strike. This card can be KO'd, and it can attack. And whenever it attacks a battle card, it goes back to active mode. So basically, if your opponent has 30 weenies on the field, you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna attack everything, because even if you negate, it's still gonna go back up because still attack the battle cards. This thing literally gets rid of boards. And so he also has an additional effect, which is the cheese part of the effect. When you play this card, when you evolve into this card, if your opponent has no battle cards, your opponent takes 2 damage. And so super nice. And also, I forgot to mention, he can also attack battle cards that are in active mode. So he's going to attack every single battle card. So it's just super nice. But just know, if he attacks a Unison, he will not stand back up. And so, and then he has an additional effect where you cannot play him for the rest of the turn. But I mean, I only play one, so he's there if you need him. But it's really nice too, because you can recycle. The majority of the deck is just, like, recycled, so that's why I don't really play playsets of aside from the Gogeta, because you want to see those. I feel like the Vegas are a good number. What they're at from the playtesting. All right, now we're gonna go on to the Vegeta and Goku's. So I play 2 Son Goku Pepper Fusion and 2 Vegeta Pepper Fusion. I still think these cards are really good, but I only play 2 and 2. So they have the skill. When you play this card, look it up 3 cards at the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Veku BR or 1 red Vegeta BR. And add it to your hand. And then you bottom deck the rest, you don't shuffle. Then at the end of your turn, it goes back to your hand. So this is a good turn 1 play if you don't have a Veku in your hand. Because let's say you have 2 Gokus and 1 Vegeta. If you play the 1 Goku, and let's say you get the Veku, you can play it, draw a card off of the leader, and then if they have a card, -10, or if you're going first, just do it to draw a card, send it to drop, and add the Goku and Vegeta back to your hand. So super nice card. All right, and this is the same thing, but instead of searching for Goku for Vegeta, search for Goku and Veku. Next we have vanillas. We have 3 Vegeta BR and 3 Goku BR. So it's like self-explanatory, they're vanillas, but they are important. And then these are the cards I'm really iffy on. I might take out 1-on-1 for 2 Tobos. So I haven't been able to running Tobo. So you choose 1 skill as Son Goku. So they both have the same exact skill, where you choose the skill as versions of themselves. You pay 1 red, you bounce it back to your hand, and you play this. And his skill is after he's played, he gets plus 10k, so he becomes a 20k swing for the turn. And then they both have the active main where you can return it to your hand. Super nice card. Doesn't really come up often, but it's still a nice addition. It's a nice addition when they have an answer for the Gogeta, because the only way they're getting rid of it is if they warp it or they reduce its power to 0. Alright, next we play 2 Vegeta preparing for battle. So this card is the reason why your Gogetas are usually never in danger. And also he can add them back from the Veku skills, which is super nice. So you can discard this card to add a Goku BR or a Veku BR from your drop area to your hand. So he allows you to recycle, and it's just super nice. So in a sense, a combo you can do is you can discard this, add a Veku, you play the Veku for Union Fusion. After you attack with it or whatever you do with it, send it to drop, add this back to your hand, and then add a Goku back to your hand. So basically you can like always have this in your hand. Next, since I only pulled 1, and it doesn't really, it comes up, But I feel like I don't need more than one, maybe two if I had it. But it's just that this card is around 60 bucks, so it's super dumb for its price. So when this card is played, you can add up to one or an extra card with an energy cost of 1 and no keyword skills from your drop area to your hand. That you're never gonna play this card. You never want to play it. It's not worth. But he has an effect where when this card is discarded from your hand by a Union Fusion skill, look at up to 7 cards from your deck, add up to 1 Gogeta BR from among them, and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And if you added a card, you discard a card. So the fact that he can search out the Gogeta is super nice, and it's top 7. And like I said, the reason why 1 is not bad to do either is because of the Vekus. The Vekus can add back a Goku BR and a Vegeta BR, and he is a Vegeta BR, and so you can just keep recycling it each time. So super nice card. And for the last battle card we play, it is the Secret Super Saiyan 4, the Great Destroyer. This card is super good. I'm really happy I have it. Thanks to my friend. Has Ultimate Barrier Double Strike. So you choose one model Red Saiyan with an energy cost of 30, with an original power of 35k. So we do have 2 targets. We have the 6-drop, and we have the 8-drop. So skill, active main. You send it to your drop area. You play this card from your hand. You choose up to one of your mono red leaders. You get plus 10k power. Until the end of your opponent's next turn. So your leader is going to be sitting at 25k beefed up until the end of their next turn. And then he has a pretty annoying permanent. So all cards in your opponent's combo area, battle area, and leader area get minus 5k power while he's on the field. So basically, any 5k combos in the opponent's hand, it just becomes 0. They literally become useless. And every 10k is a 5k. And so he basically allows you to hit for your numbers much easier. So making sure that your numbers will usually hit. And it's nice too because it allows all your 10ks to hit the leader, because the leader is going to be 10k instead of 15k. So super nice card. And I do feel like it is needed. The only downside is that it's not searchable. So that's why I have also been debating about running the Kale Unison card, because it looks at the top 3 for a Red Saiyan. Alright, next onto the extra cards. We have, the reason why we played the vanilla is Birth of a Super Warrior. Wow, this video is much longer than I thought. So active main, if your leader card is a red Gogeta BR, choose 1. Play, okay, so you can play or add 1 vanilla skillless Vegeta BR, Goku BR from your deck. You can play them or add them to your hand from your deck, and then it has then the second skill is the same, but you can play the Goku and Vegeta from your drop area, or you can add them to your hand. So basically, if you open this turn 1, you have a Veku, you're set. Next, we have the GOAT. This card is saved me a few times. Unending Awakening. This card is nice too because one, he is every extra card in this deck is searchable except for 1 card. So because of him, the top 7. So if you negate the attack, then if your leader card is a Red Saiyan leader card, it gets 5k power for the duration of the turn. So this is like a pseudo bean in a sense. This is a very old card. As you can see, this is from base hit 3. It does come in though. This is like, it stops against rush. It helps against Garlic Jr., Ginyu, because Ginyu's off 15k power, I believe, so it makes him 20. You have to sacrifice 5k more power in order to do stuff. So super nice card. And I've been enjoying it a lot. For After Image is just a self-explanatory. Sparking 5, minus 10k power to one of your opponent's battle cards, and then choose a card, and it gets plus 40k power for the turn, but for the battle, not the turn. Very good. I do not play Wolf Fang Fist. I used to have them. Reason why I don't play it is because I do not like that you cannot choose any card you want, that you have to choose the attacking card. Like, I understand that it's used for like protecting yourself, minus 15k, ignoring barrier, but at the same time, I wish I can choose what sorry, at the same time, I wish I could choose what I want to make power. Like, let's say they have you're playing against Agent of Destruction and they have the Babidi out. They attack as a card. You can't use that card to minus 15k to the Babidi. You can't minus 15k to cards that are more important than the cards attacking. It's like, sure, like, you attack 15k to 15k, you can play it, okay, it's dead. But at the same time, it's like, you killed one attacker, but the card cannot get rid of important things that are on the board. And then we play 3 Transcendent Strike. This card is this is the spot removal for the deck. So if your leader card is red, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 200k power or less and KO it. So the reason why this is really good is that the Gogeta, this basically makes it allow to hit every card in the game that isn't a 40k, I believe, because 35 minus 10, there is 25. Yeah. 20. I'm bad with math. Yeah, so this and this is a really good combo. Because like I said, minus 15k, and this doesn't say original power, just says 20k power or less. So they have a 35k beat stick. You play this, you awaken, you have 2 energy, get rid of 1, pay 1 energy, get rid of it. They're done. They're out of the water. You play against Dark Broly, minus 15k to everything. You can just stop them all out. So super nice. And then we have One Denial Hope. It doesn't really come up. I might take it out just for a topo. And maybe the other Goku and Vegeta, so I can run 3 topos. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Remember to rate, comment, like, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.